So can you talk a little bit about building these relationships, maybe for younger composers who are in college now?
I think that the most useful thing you can do as a composer, literally beyond anything else, is to get your music into the hands of people who not just want to play it, but will play it, and will play it on purpose, and will play it without your involvement. That's the trick. And I think even if you have one friend who plays the whatever, who has a piece that's great that you've written, if she does a recital and it's like solo horn, whatever, and plays your piece, that is the process where it stops becoming about you and starts becoming about the kind of community of musicians. And for me, that was the most important thing that I did, was I forged these relationships with individual people whom I liked and who liked my music and who wanted something and were willing to play it, not just in the context that composers can have access to.
First, how did you accomplish this? Did you?
Well, do you know, it's actually, as it turns out, it's not that hard. If the pieces are okay, people will want to play them. What I've learned is that if the pieces are, if you write a piece that people like, that a musician likes, and that they can, like, and I say sell in the most abstract sense of the word, that they can kind of communicate to an audience, then they will do that, and they'll do that whether or not you're there. They'll treat you like you're dead, which is great, right? And if someone has a recital I remember, just for me, that feeling of, at Juilliard Composers, we had these composers concerts where you sort of had to, it felt like you had to sort of Jedi mind trick people to play in them, right? Because it was like 2 hours of contemporary music with badly edited parts, like, do you know what I mean? Or then there was this kind of world into which I kind of stumbled, in which suddenly musicians, it was like a violist was like, I on my recital I'm doing the chaconne, I'm doing this, and I want a piece from you. Can you do that? And then it becomes recontextualized, and it's not part of being. It's not just like composer ghetto. It's part of rep. It feels like rep. I lost interest really quickly in those composers. Because that stuff for me, just personally, was like, it felt really kind of, if you're writing for other composers, I think there's something a little bit sad about that. I think it may not be true, but for me, I always felt like what you are missing in that is the musicians, and their ability to make music with an audience is actually more important than your ability to 12 count really deeply and like serialize dynamics and articulations and all that stuff, which is great. And but that feels more like, take that to online Scrabble. You know what I mean? Like that belongs in like